The day we moved into the neighborhood, our new neighbor sued me. She sobbed hysterically, accusing my son of insulting her daughter. My Tiffany just turned 18 and Buddy ruined her. Deserves the death penalty. Her daughter also insisted it was my son. Buddy told me he would choke me if I did not take off my clothes. I was so scared, boo-hoo at her words. The jury and the public were enraged, demanding severe punishment for my son. That animal. This Buddy is an absolute monster. Punish him severely. Do not let Buddy get away with it. But when the judge called my son to the stand, everyone in the courtroom froze. You, Cassandra, your son had the guts to insult my daughter, but has too much of a coward to show his face in court. Hiding him will not do any good. I will not let this go. Your son must get the death penalty, and you too must pay my daughter $2 million for emotional damages. In court, Brenda glared at me fiercely. Her daughter, Tiffany, was sobbing dramatically, tears streaming down her face, her eyes filled with pain and terror. I looked at the mother and daughter coolly, repeating my stance. My son did not assault Tiffany, and he could not have. Find the real culprit. Do not you dare try to pin this on my son. Until today, I never imagined I'd be facing Brenda and Tiffany in court. The day my son and I moved into the neighborhood, Brenda was so friendly, helping me with my luggage, saying we were neighbors now and I should come to her if I needed anything. When she heard I had a son during our chat, her face lit up, and she introduced her daughter, Tiffany, calling it fate. However, that very night, she came banging on my door with a disheveled Tiffany, accusing my son, Buddy, of assaulting her. I was stunned, then quickly explained that my son would never do such a thing. But Brenda wouldn't listen. She was convinced my son did it, no matter how I tried to explain. The mother and daughter were like hungry wolves who had found their prey, relentlessly clinging to my son. They even demanded a $1 million settlement and insisted my son marry Tiffany, or they call the police. I knew my son could not have assaulted Tiffany, and the $1 million compensation was absurd. I flat out refused the mother and daughter's demands. I never expected them to sue me. I firmly denied everything, and Brenda instantly blew up. Impossible. You, Cassandra, open your damn eyes and look at Tiffany's injuries. Brenda tore open Tiffany's jacket, revealing shocking livid bruises on her body. These black and blue marks, your son did this to her. My Tiffany is only 18. Tiffany trembled as she looked at me, her eyes brimming with tears. Cassandra, Buddy did all this. He even threatened to choke me if I did not take off my clothes. I was so scared. Brenda hugged Tiffany, comforting her. Both mother and daughter burst into tears right there in the courtroom, and I, the mother of the alleged aggressor, watched them with cold indifference. The crowd in the jury box pointed at me, yelling. The criticisms rained down on me, but I did not care, acting as if it had nothing to do with me. Tiffany cried even harder. Cassandra, it was clearly Buddy who did this. Why will not you admit it? I am only 18. How can I face anyone after this? How am I supposed to live? Boo-hoo, she cried and pounded her head, her despair moving many in the room to tears. Brenda was heartbroken, pointing her finger at me. You, Cassandra, you have a child too. How can you be so heartless? If your daughter was the victim today, would you still be this cold? I scoffed. My son is being slandered. What's wrong with me defending him? I knew perfectly well that my son Buddy was absolutely incapable of doing such a preposterous thing, but in their eyes, I was just making excuses. The whispers from the jury and the public grew louder. The courtroom instantly became a chaotic mess. The judge frowned and slammed his gavel down. Order. Since both parties have conflicting statements, please present your respective evidence. At his words, Tiffany's lawyer immediately stood up, stating righteously, Your Honor, my client has sufficient evidence to prove that the defendant, Buddy, assaulted my client. Tiffany, she motioned for Tiffany to recount the events of that night. Tiffany took a deep breath, her voice trembling as she began to describe the alleged incident. That night at 10 o'clock, I was walking home from tutoring, and the elevator in that building was broken, so I had to take the stairs. Just as I reached the 26th floor, someone suddenly covered my mouth from behind. I struggled desperately, but Buddy was very strong. He dragged me directly to the rooftop, threatening me to play with him. I raised an eyebrow and pressed her. How are you so sure that person was my son, Buddy? Tiffany met my gaze, choking back a sob. I definitely know. I saw his face. By this point, she was crying so hard she could barely breathe, clutching tightly at the hem of her clothes. Everyone sympathized with her plight, but only I knew she was lying. I pointed it out publicly. Tiffany, you are lying.